It's Kim, Sunshine Creations and Craft, and this is the card I'm making for Stamp It Up Tuesday. I'm using just some scrap paper. It's from Pebbles, and just wanted to recommend when you're doing stamping on your cards to pull from a bunch of different stamps. Use a variety. This is Darcy's, and it's absolutely adorable. It's a snail, a grasshopper, and a little ladybug, and it's got some cute little sentiments on it. And I'm also going to be using the Fiskars. And the stamp I'm going to be using out of that Fiskars stamp set is the sun. I'm going to be using that stamp set again for the cards I'm making for Operation Right Home. This is an 8.5 by 11 white cardstock that I bought at Staples. I got a full ream of it, and I just scored that at 4 1/4, cut it down the middle. That's my bottom layer, and that is my top layer. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a strip of American Crafts ribbon on it, and I got this through the Scrapbook Daily Deals. And the best way that I prefer to put ribbon on is using my score tape. And it's going to go right across the top of that floral colored paper. And I'm not putting any bows on this one. This is just going to be a simple card. So now I'm noticing the top of that is cut a little bit crooked, so once I get it on the card I will trim it off. The important thing here, I just wanted to say, is to make sure that your layers match exactly to your card size. Once you put your ribbon on the card, it's really hard to trim it. It can be done, but it's a little bit of a challenge. And I didn't put the ribbon on where I wrapped it around, because when you do that, it sometimes gets tucked underneath and that layer doesn't lay down flat. My glue is really giving me a hard time here. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a break there because my doorbell rang. And I happened to be in my craft room, which is my guest room / office, for almost 3 hours. The phone did not ring, the dogs did not bark, and nobody knocked on my door. But as soon as I started this video, everything started happening. And that's why I'm editing it right now with my voice. Because it was just like mayhem all of a sudden. This is the stamp, which I'm going to be using Copics, and I cut it out with those Spellbinder dies. Now, I made a frame for it, and in order to do that, you have to use 2 different sizes of your die cuts, and then you can just lay it on top of your paper and use the frame or the inside. And I was thinking about doing this as a demonstration for the Totally Die Cut Thursday. Now, I just pulled out my green Copics here, and I used the YG03 and the YG67. Those are the only lighter avocado-ish green colors that I have, so you can use any that you want. Just coloring that cute little face in there. And then I'm going to use a different color for the body. The other greens that I have are actually more for like Christmas trees and things like that. They're real bright greens. And if you have distress pens, you could absolutely use distress pens here. You don't need to use Copics. Now there are some stamps that you can physically color on them to stamp. And this one here, actually the stamp is open, so I wasn't able to do that. But I did want to use my Copics on this. But you can color directly on the stamp. And you can use Copics for that. You can use distress pens for that. Kind of play around with it. Just finishing up that cute little grasshopper. Now, I've posted a picture of this card at the very end of this video, and I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I used a sparkle gel pen and went in and did his legs. I just thought that he needed a little bit more color to him. And the only colors I used, again, I said it was the YG03 and the YG67. Just doing a little bit of shadowing here. Alrighty, one little bit more and we are done with that cute little grasshopper. Now that's the frame, and it wasn't big enough that it didn't cover up that one little antenna, but I think we all know it's there, so I went ahead and kept it. And I'm going to go ahead and pop it up. I've just got some rectangle dimensionals. I bought these at the dollar store. And they had fallen out of the original packaging, so I put them in a baggie. And he's going to go right down there in that right corner. Now it's time to put that sun on. Now I'm going to stamp directly on the card. I'm not going to do any fussy cutting or anything like that. He's going to go right on the card. And I like the clarity of that stamp. It stamped on really nice. Now this one says, I'm Buggy for you. I'm sorry, it says, I'm Buggy over you. And I'm going to do a banner out of this. Put that on the ribbon. But I didn't want it to just be the white. So I used that scrap piece of paper that came from inside that die cut frame. And I'm, making a shadow banner. I'm going to call it that because I'm a Cricut person. Cricut's all about shadows. And I'm going to use score tape to put that down. I'm not going to pop it up. It's a very simple but cute card, and sometimes it's just so fun to do that, right? Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.